Welcome to 10.1, all about posture, smiling, and communicating with the camera in other ways beyond just your voice and your video. They say that a picture is worth 1,000 words. A video is worth 1,000,000. But before you even speak a word, tons is communicated. So today's little module is about those things that are nonverbal, or those cues and things that you can do to really perform well in front of a camera when you're shooting video, especially when you're the subject. First, we're gonna go into posture. You technically can have any posture you want, especially when I stay preaching to my authenticity aspect. Because if that posture is you, go for it. But generally speaking in life, good, strong, framed posture conveys confidence, power, knowledge, and you always want to try and have good posture, whether you're sitting down, standing, walking around. So one of the key things I've mentioned in the previous modules is to be framed in the middle of the camera. And when you are framed, if you're slouching and look like this, it doesn't look too attractive, it doesn't look too confident. Whatever you're saying isn't really going to be taken the same. So I always recommend when it comes to posture is just to simply stand straight up, feel like you have a nice straight spine, look directly into the camera, and just feel powerful, and body power, and body presence. Having that, people will pay attention to what you're saying or what the subject of the video is, and they're gonna have more trust and confidence in what's being said. Number 2 is eye contact. So a lot of these videos I've been making, I've been reading off of scripts and helping myself kind of stay tuned. So like right now I could be reading off of this script, but when I'm not reading off of a script, I try and keep pure, direct eye posture so that I'm speaking to you. The ones that I'm reading off of a script, as I mentioned before, I use an AI app on captions to get my eyes to look at you. This is incredibly important because the person watching the video feels like you're communicating to them. You're connecting, and connection is everything. When you connect to somebody through your video, they're gonna not only just pay attention, but they're gonna remember what you're talking about. So try and keep direct eye contact. Just look at the lens. If you need a small tip when you're not comfortable in front of the camera, have someone you love or care about or just like a lot to stand behind the camera or hold the camera, whether that's a spouse, a good friend, or a neighbor that you really like. Have them stand behind the camera or hold the camera, and you will feel a lot more comfortable speaking directly at the camera, creating that very familiar, authentic approach and connection. Lastly, and you can see this in a bunch of my videos, I like to smile. Granted, my company is called Smile More. But overall, try and convey at least good energy through you. You don't have to be cheesing every single word, but having a smile conveys good energy, comfortable energy, happy energy. People are more and more likely to communicate through your video with you and that connection if you're smiling a little bit, if you have a little bit of that good energy within you. Of course, if your style is, or your authentic self is low energy, or if your thing is to frown or be serious, go for it. That's all up to you. I'm just speaking more for the generality. There's a few people on Instagram right now that I follow, and all of their style videos are completely straight-faced, speaking to a camera, or even speaking up outside of a camera, and they're completely straight-faced. So it goes against my smiling thing that I just mentioned, but that's their style. That's their authentic self. That's what they've created. And they found out that their audience resonates with it. So stick to what you know, stick to what you are familiar with, and it feels like you, but try and take some of these tips and internalize them. Doing so, you're gonna be a lot better off the rip, especially until you find kind of what you're good at, what you feel right doing. So those are some tips there for 10.1. We're gonna jump over to 10.2 and keep diving into some of these pro tips that you all should at least have in mind. All right, talk soon.